Tonight on CTV News, Ken Sim says sorry.
I'm letting everyone know that I did call Councillor Orr and I did apologize personally for my comments.
The false allegations about an opposition councillor that led to the mayor's mea culpa, also tonight.
This is alarming, coming from one individual, having all these assaults happen in a short period of time.
An assault suspect arrested again while out on bail. The alleged downtown attack on a father pushing a stroller. And
new facilities like this are huge attractors for recruiting new doctors and nurses.
The city's newest hospital is taking shape. We take you inside the new St. Paul's. Is it on budget, and will it open on time?
This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Vancouver Mayor Ken Sim is finally responding after spreading misinformation about a city councillor, falsely accusing him of distributing drugs. It comes only 3 days after a member of the mayor's ABC party repeated the same thing to the Chinese community. CTV's Isabella Zavarisi reports, when asked for an explanation, all Sim will say is that he's sorry.
In under 4 minutes, Mayor Ken Sim apologizes 18 times.
I spoke with Councillor Orr yesterday and I apologized for my comments. I called Sean or Councillor Orr yesterday and I did apologize for my comments. And I did apologize for those comments.
The apologies follow a briefing earlier this month between Sim and Chinese media outlets, where Sim spread false allegations about Councillor Sean Orr.
We have a Councillor Sean Orr. Just this Christmas, he was handing out illegal drugs on Christmas Day to people on the streets.
This isn't the first time the claim has been made. On Tuesday, opposition councillors revealed Councillor Lenny Zhou had posted a video to WeChat saying non-ABC councillors used and distributed drugs.
Not only damages our reputation, but I would suggest actually puts us at significant public risk.
At the time, the mayor thanked Zhou for taking responsibility. Now that he's on the hot seat,
well, I apologize.
Mayor Sim, can we talk to you about
Yeah, sure.
It took 1 day to get a response from Sim, with reporters tracking him down at a housing announcement Friday.
You're saying one thing in Chinese media, then you're saying another thing to English media, so how do you rectify that?
Well, I think the media is here today, and I'm telling everyone that I spoke with Councillor Orr and I apologize for my comments.
Sim says he spoke with Orr on Thursday evening.
And I said this to him like, man to man, how could you do this? I mean, he said he was given misinformation, and I said, who are you listening to? Who's advising you?
Orr says he wasn't even in the city on Christmas, instead spending time with family on the Sunshine Coast.
It's malicious intent. That's the only way I can look at it. You know, he's trying to hurt me.
The first-term councillor says he worries how these comments will impact his work.
It makes it impossible for me to go into the community and talk to people without this now becoming the subject.
Orr says he's considering all of his options, including a code of conduct complaint, an integrity commissioner complaint, and legal action. Isabella Zavarisi, CTV News, Vancouver.
A man charged after an attack on a fast food worker last month has been charged again in a disturbing assault, this time on a man pushing a stroller with young children. CTV's Craig Krause reports.
Just when you thought the story of a man attacking a Fatburger employee last month after police said he was refused free bacon was strange, the same man charged with assault in that case is once again in hot water. 24-year-old Jackson Andre Carter has been charged for allegedly shoving a stroller with 2 kids near Burrard in Georgia days before Christmas, before punching the father in the face.
These stranger assaults are very alarming and very concerning, especially stemming from one specific individual.
But wait, there's more. Last August, he was charged with another count of assault causing bodily harm following an incident in which he allegedly attacked and repeatedly punched a security guard at a bus loop in Coquitlam. And on January 23rd, another count of assault was laid against Carter for an incident that allegedly occurred on December 5th in Vancouver.
Our police officers are very familiar with Jackson Carter. It is very concerning, but again, as police officers, we're doing what we can do, and it's up to the court system.
While court records show Carter has been charged with a total of 2 counts of assault causing bodily harm and 2 counts of assault in 4 separate incidents, he is not in custody. Police say he was released with conditions after the December 21st arrest. Craig Crow, CTV News, Vancouver.
Members of BC's Sikh community are not letting up the pressure as the Prime Minister tries to build better ties with India. Mark Carney has yet to comment on the controversy brewing at home, but there are calls for the PM to shift his priorities from trade to safety. CTV's Sinjan Alexander has the latest.
Shut down! Get it home! Shut down! Get it home!
Shutting down the street outside the Indian consulate in Vancouver, the protesters say they are also being watched and targeted by the Indian government and want Canada to investigate and rethink its trade mission.
Safety and this is accountability. We are not safe here. Still, we are getting the threats.
The Prime Minister is now in the country's commercial hub, Mumbai, where he met immediately with business leaders. Canada has a lot of resources that India wants and needs.
I would say from a trade perspective that we've fallen behind a number of other countries around the world.
Among the delegation, premiers from Saskatchewan and New Brunswick who are eager to sell.
The Port of St. John can get a container from St. John to India in 15 days. So it's not a problem for us to move the goods that we produce.
But controversy over Canada's change in stance with the country won't let up back home. After all, India was accused of foreign interference and violence for years. Then suddenly, just before the mission, a government official announced it's no longer the case.
And so we say this clearly and without any hesitation, that claim does not reflect the lived reality of Sikhs in Canada.
A broad trade deal with India is not expected right away.
I think we have a Prime Minister that wants things to move quickly.
But Carney is likely to leave with an understanding. Both countries are keen to do business and will. Sinjan Alexander, CTV News, Vancouver.
Breaking news, a man has died after being hit by a train in Maple Ridge. Lauren Pullen is following this in the Breaking News Center. Lauren, RCMP are now investigating.
Nafisa, Mounties were called to the scene on River Road in Maple Ridge at around 2 this afternoon. And this is the second person killed by a train in this area in the last week. When RCMP arrived, they found a pedestrian had been hit by the CPKC train near the intersection of River Bend and River Road. But the man was pronounced dead on scene by emergency crews. Ridge Meadows RCMP and the CPKC Police Service are now investigating. And we do know that last Sunday, another pedestrian was hit and killed by a train in the same area of River Road. The train in this latest deadly incident has been removed from the area tonight. The West Coast Express was shut down for a few hours while the on-scene investigation was underway, Nafisa, but traffic in the area is back to normal again.
Thank you, Lauren. A 25-year-old man in Abbotsford is facing charges after he was caught driving under the influence and going way too fast. Police say they clocked a gray pickup going more than 100 kilometers an hour over the speed limit on Tuesday. Officers used a spike belt to finally stop the truck. Shortly after, the driver lost control and crashed into a light pole. The driver was arrested for dangerous driving and refusing to provide a breath sample. He was also given a 90-day driving ban. Charges are pending. RCMP have laid charges in an extortion-related shooting investigation that began in Alberta and has since expanded to include violent incidents targeting the South Asian community across the country, including here in BC. Mounties say 24-year-old Jagdeep Singh has been charged with extortion and firearms-related offenses. The foreign national was identified and arrested in Red Deer in November, then released. Well, he's now wanted by the RCMP and CBSA, which has an immigration warrant out for Singh. Police say victims in Parkland County, just west of Edmonton, face demands for millions of dollars.
They did nothing wrong. They're in their home and their house gets shot at. I'd be pretty fearful as well, right? It's one of those things that I'd really send the message of contacting your local authorities if there's any extortion threats that they receive.
Police say a gun recovered after Singh's arrest was linked to 7 different shootings across the country. Edmonton police have arrested 2 other foreign nationals for weapons offenses. Officials say they are part of the same crime group but are not directly related to the Parkland County extortion shooting. Well, it is one of the biggest healthcare projects this province has ever seen. The brand new St. Paul's Hospital is nearing completion and is expected to open next year. Today, the Premier got a first-hand look, but as CTV's Kevin Chirac reports, some healthcare workers are questioning how the hospital will function without enough staff to run it.
Strings with light bulbs in them.
It's still a work in progress, so you'll have to use your imagination. But the Premier is touting the new St. Paul's Hospital in False Creek Flats as a world-leading facility.
The building is absolutely beautiful. It will be a place of healing using the best and latest technologies.
Located near Main and Terminal, it's about double the size of the current St. Paul's, set to feature nearly 550 beds in private rooms and advanced medical technologies, including digital systems, robotics, and other next-generation tools.
That there will be reduced complications and increased throughput of patients. They'll be able to move patients through faster than they do at the current St. Paul's site.
An adjacent research facility is also set to open in 2029, but while new hospitals are often celebrated, it comes at a time when staffing remains a major concern, with emergency room and maternity ward closures an ongoing issue.
Having these new sites being built and having the infrastructural changes are really only a helpful step if that includes the staffing and if that includes building the healthcare system from a worker's perspective.
The nurses' union says progress is being made, but there's still a long way to go.
We know that we have about 6,000 current vacancies in this province, and we need many more nurses to fill minimum nurse-patient ratios. So is it a concern? It is. Are we on the right track? I think we're starting to be.
Critics also point to the project's timeline and rising costs.
It's a project that is a year behind schedule and $350 million over budget. With a year still to go.
The project is slated to cost about $2.2 billion, up from its original estimate of $1.9 billion. As for staffing, the Premier says it remains a challenge, but believes if you build it, they will come.
New facilities like this are huge attractors for recruiting new doctors and nurses.
Construction is set to wrap up this summer, with the hospital expected to start taking patients by spring 2027. Kevin Chirac, CTV News, Vancouver.
Let's take a peek outside. There are clouds in the sky, and Lou joins us now. I believe those clouds are going to disappear this weekend.
They sure are. Right now we are seeing, as you can see, mostly cloudy conditions out there, but still mild temperatures. Here's a look across the lower mainland. We're sitting between 9s and 10s pretty much across the board, but North Vancouver at 11 degrees right now, and we can expect to see mild temperatures heading into the weekend as well. So a few clouds as we head through the overnight tonight. 3 degrees into tomorrow. We will see a mix of sun and cloud. It will be breezy near the water, and we'll see a high of 8.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Explore the endless possibilities at one of our 36 BC locations. Learn more at expediacruises.ca.
And it looks like March is coming in like a lamb. I've got your full forecast coming up.
All right, looking forward to the sun. Thank you, Anna. Well, a community housing project more than a decade in the making officially opened in Vancouver's downtown east side today.
3 levels of government. Partners, philanthropists, donors, volunteers, guided by a people-centric approach, came together to create a home and a community where people can thrive, belong, and be supported for generations to come.
Bob and Michael's house will provide homes for 300 people in more than 230 independent living units. The development on West Hastings near Abbott also houses a 50,000 square foot community health center, which will serve the whole neighborhood. The building also features community partnerships that will connect residents with wellness services, life skills training, and mentorship. After the break, passport pickle. Why a Victoria senior is warning others about new travel requirements to the UK. The quiet change that could mean big problems for dual citizens. And later, an unexpected discovery.
When I hopped in the water, I realized the significance of what we were seeing.
A colossal coral colony, the world's largest, in fact. How a mother-daughter dive duo discovered it. As CTV News continues, stay with us. Back, the neighbors of a BC ostrich farm are now suing the RCMP, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, and the Canadian government following last year's avian flu cull.
They created 2 new entranceways to the property, one to bring in their hay bales and the other to avoid the protesters and truck out the carcasses. They drove in basically star-shaped formation through the hayfields all the time. They got stuck in the mud. They collapsed a culvert.
The family, who live next to Universal Ostrich Farm in Edgewood, claims officers seized their property for 52 days and caused significant damage during the operation. They allege trespassing and say they had no involvement with the farm or the birds. In a statement, the CFIA confirms it has received the civil claim and will respond through the courts. The allegations have not been tested in court. A construction worker in Toronto is lucky to be alive after a dramatic rescue with dozens of first responders. The man spent 5 hours stuck 4 meters below ground, pinned by a piece of concrete. CTV's John Musselman has more.
The rescue operation involved a construction worker trapped in a hole about 4 meters below ground. It happened at the Foundry Lofts near Lansdowne and Davenport just before 10:30 this morning. Emergency officials say the worker was trapped under a piece of concrete. Tactical paramedics were lowered into the hole after it was secured to provide medical assistance.
The patient is conscious and alert at this time, and as the commander mentioned, they are trapped by both legs from cement. So very challenging. The medics are providing medical care up until we can get them out.
Emergency teams set up a trench rescue. The challenge was removing the concrete that was pinning the worker and ensuring the walls did not collapse.
There's a piece of concrete that is holding onto the leg at this time. We are trying to remove that. We also have to do our shoring up of the situation to make it safe for our responders.
The rescue operation attracted curious onlookers, many expressing concerns for the trapped worker.
It's been a long time. It's probably 3-hour mark it's going to be at now. So you just hope he comes out okay.
5 hours after it began, success. The worker was safely pulled up. The 56-year-old man was then transported to hospital.
His condition, I would say, is our working assessment is serious but non-life-threatening. He is dealing with multi-system trauma, and he is going to a local trauma center now.
Construction crews were doing waterproofing work at the building when this happened. The Ministry of Labor has been called in to investigate.
Still ahead, a Saskatoon woman who claims she found a cockroach in her grilled cheese. Plus, from sickening to sinking.
I remember sitting there and then I think just kind of feeling just a fall. It's not like a sinking feeling.
Sudden disaster strikes when his vehicle is swallowed up by a sinkhole. We'll meet the Good Samaritan who rushed in to help him get out. We'll be right back. Radiohead are calling out the U.S. Department of Homeland Security after it used the band's song Let Down in a recent pro-ICE video. A spokesperson for Radiohead said it goes without saying it was without the band's permission. Radiohead is the latest in a long list of artists objecting to ICE using their music, including Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina Carpenter. At a time of inflamed tensions between Cuba and the United States, Donald Trump is suggesting the U.S. could take over the island nation.
They're in a big deal of trouble, as you know. They have no money, they have no anything right now, but they're talking with us, and maybe we'll have a friendly takeover of Cuba.
The U.S. president says both countries are in talks as a U.S. blockade of fuel has aggravated Cuba's economic and humanitarian crisis. A restaurant in Saskatoon has had its doors closed for the time being after a customer got more than she wanted on her plate. Tori Redman was having brunch with a friend at Pink Cadillac's Diner and Lounge last weekend when she says she found a cockroach in her grilled cheese sandwich. She posted about it on social media, and the image quickly gained attention. Shortly after, the owner apologized online, saying staff are deep cleaning the restaurant. Despite finding the bug, Tori says she thinks the right steps are being taken.
I think they did a good job with the owner kind of like owning up to it and shutting down right away and then promising to clean it up.
The Saskatchewan Health Authority says it has temporarily suspended the restaurant's license pending an investigation. Well, there was a heartwarming reunion in the States this week between a man whose SUV was swallowed by a sinkhole and one of the women who rushed to help him. NBC's Andrew Pfeiffer has more.
My thought just in my head is pretty much like, I need to get out of this car right away.
It happened without warning.
I remember sitting there and then I think just kind of feeling just a fall. It's not like a sinking feeling even.
One moment, Jonathan Inman was sitting at a red light.
A few seconds later, I'm in a sinkhole.
Within seconds, bystanders rushed towards the car. Jonathan says he's grateful for everyone's help.
I would love to be able to, meet you and be able to say thank you.
So that's exactly what happened.
If you look behind you, she's actually in the blue flannel right here. This is the woman that came up to you.
Thank you so much. Can I give you a hug? Thank you, yes.
My first thought is that we need to get him out.
UNO student Callie Miller was sitting in the white car. She ran towards the vehicles first, where Inman navigated getting to the edge of the sinkhole.
And I always think, what would I do? What would I do if I was in that situation? And you don't really think, you just do.
Callie immediately dialed 911 and reached out to pull Inman up as more people rushed over to help. A terrifying moment became proof that when it matters, neighbors help neighbors.
It can be really inspiring and uplifting to see complete strangers just come together and do a really good thing.
You're capable of more than you realize.
Inman didn't know Callie Miller's name a week ago. Now he'll never forget it.
After the break, a feast for the eyes. Underwater, that is. We'll take you to a newly discovered coral colony that a mother and daughter just happened upon. And later,
what we're doing is anything but easy, and we've seen that with the challenges that we've encountered.
NASA delays its Artemis 2 space mission, pushing back a return to the moon. What's behind the change? Next.
When I hopped in the water, I realized the significance of what we were seeing. These beautiful undulating meadows, and there's fish life everywhere.
A mother-daughter dive turned into a record-breaking discovery when the pair identified the world's largest known coral colony. Located on the Great Barrier Reef, the colony stretches over 40,000 square feet. After the initial sighting, researchers verified and mapped the coral using underwater measurements and 3D modeling. The discovery comes as the Great Barrier Reef has faced repeated mass bleaching events driven by rising ocean temperatures. A couple in Scotland found themselves in the middle of a so-called archaeological emergency after taking their dogs for a walk on the beach. The pair spotted fossilized footprints in the surf and reported their find to local archaeologists. Researchers quickly rushed to document the scene and captured 3D molds of the prints believed to be from humans and animals. Well, within a week, the tracks had vanished in the surf. Radiocarbon dating found the prints to be about 2,000 years old. Wow. Well, NASA announced major changes to its Artemis program today, even adding a new mission. The changes come just days after the Artemis 2 blastoff was delayed to address critical issues with the launch system. But the space agency is still shooting for the moon. CTV's John Venevali-Rao reports.
In a video hyping the coming Artemis 2 mission with Canadian Jeremy Hansen, you can see the 4 astronauts waiting to blast off on a rocket that NASA continues to say is launching soon. A rocket now being repaired inside of a huge hangar after another issue was discovered last week, with NASA still hoping to launch in early April.
What we're doing is anything but easy, and we've seen that with the challenges that we've encountered.
And now the space agency revamping plans for what comes after Hansen and the others loop around the moon. Artemis 3 was supposed to land humans on the surface for the first time in half a century. Instead, it's now scheduled to blast off next year and stay in low Earth orbit for a test flight to try and dock with at least one prototype lunar lander. Artemis 4 will then attempt a touchdown on the moon in 2028, along with a second possible landing.
So it's challenging, it's ambitious, but with this course correction, we are on a more stable foundation, a more realistic path to the milestones we have ahead.
The decision comes amid a new space race, with China continuing to make progress towards its goal of landing people on the moon by 2030.
I think competition is good. I think it's a great way to, motivate our workforce and our partners, again, to achieve the near impossible. This competition worked very well for us in the 1960s.
NASA is also scrapping plans to build a more powerful version of its Artemis rockets, instead focusing on making them more quickly and launching every 10 months or so.
Everybody agrees this is the only way forward.
Still, some are skeptical of the new timeline, with Elon Musk's SpaceX and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin still developing their lunar landers for NASA.
And some question whether either of those will be ready for a test flight next year. Jonathan Navalny-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
Well, we are on the doorstep of the weekend. And what are you serving up in the weather buffet?
I hope you like some sunshine, because a lot of it is coming our way right now. We are seeing mostly cloudy skies, and this is how we fared today. We saw a high of 10.8 degrees, a couple of degrees above the seasonal average of 8.2. It was a very mild night overnight. And with the end of the month nearing, we've seen 76.7 millimeters of rain, shy of the monthly average of 84.6 millimeters. And today was a warm one. Salmon Arm, once again, the hot spot across the country, 14.5 degrees, but not close to the record set back in 1932 at 15.6. So we have a ridge of high pressure offshore, and that will clear everything out of the way as we head into the weekend. This is what it looks like on our storm tracker. Overcast skies through the overnight into tomorrow morning. We will see a mix of sun and cloud across the lower mainland, and then just around noon, we'll see things clear up quite nicely. Lots of sunshine, clear conditions as we head into tomorrow night. You'll see a mix of sun and cloud for the southern interior as well. Your provincial forecast at the bottom of your screen. Port Hardy, 6 degrees under a mix of sun and cloud. Few clouds for Campbell River and Comox as well, with a high of 8 degrees. Lots of sunshine in store for the South Island from Tofino right down to Victoria with the few clouds. You'll see temperatures between 9 and 10. For the Sunshine Coast, partly cloudy skies and 8 degrees. Mostly sunny skies as you make your way up the Sea to Sky Highway. Squamish, you'll see 9. Few clouds for Whistler with a high of 6. And frost across the lower mainland. A mix of sun and cloud with temperatures between 8 degrees near the water, 11 degrees further inland. Sunny skies on Sunday as we say hello to March, double-digit highs at 10. Mix of sun and cloud for Monday. Clouding over for Tuesday. We'll see a few showers roll in on Wednesday. I'll stay unsettled for Thursday. And then, yes, the rain returns on Friday with a high of 9. CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. Well, the BC Children's Hospital Choices Lottery is back. Your tickets support research breakthroughs that will help conquer childhood illness. Check out these family bonus prizes worth over $50,000. Choose from a $25,000 luxury trip plus $5,000 cash or a $30,000 gift card from Midland Appliance or gas and groceries for a year, or choose $25,000 cash. Plus 5 winners of $4,000 in groceries or travel, or $3,000 cash. Family bonus deadline is midnight tonight. Good luck to everyone. Great prizes for a great cause.
And a great forecast. I think everyone's a winner here, whether they're winning or not in the lottery.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks, Sam. You're welcome. Well, a Vancouver Island senior has a warning for other dual citizens of the United Kingdom and Canada. This week, new travel rules came into effect that don't allow dual citizens to enter the UK on their Canadian passport. CTV's Shannon Patterson has the story.
Mike Stephen has lived in Canada for nearly 60 years.
I was born in the UK in 1941. I came to Canada with my wife in 1967. This is a UK one.
The Victoria Senior is a dual citizen and a frequent visitor to the UK.
Last year I was there 3 times. I was there in May and September, and then I was there in over Christmas and New Year.
When Stephen went to renew his UK passport, he learned the rules have changed.
There was a checkbox to say, did you have another passport? And I said, yeah, I've got a Canadian passport.
Starting this week, the UK will not allow dual citizens to enter the country on their other passport.
To get into Britain as a dual citizen, there had to be a British passport.
A lot of people who maybe in the past had a UK passport have let that expire, because once they became a Canadian citizen, they now just travel as a Canadian on their Canadian passport. So we have a group of people who were born in the UK who have an expired passport that now need to renew it. And we also have the group that are now considered dual citizens because their parents were born in the UK, that have always been Canadian citizens, that under these rules, technically now need to apply for a UK passport.
Dual citizens also have the option of applying for an extra travel document that costs hundreds of dollars or renouncing their UK citizenship.
So I thought, what the heck, I might as well renew this. I've had a passport for 60 years.
Stephen learned he had to photocopy every page of his Canadian passport and include it in the application.
It was a complete surprise to me that I had to go through this stuff. And now, obviously, there are many, many other people who have British citizenships that have to go through this without knowing about it.
The information is out there. The disconnect is, how do people who don't know to look for this information going to find it?
Stephen hopes he gets his UK passport before his next trip in early May. And he hopes by telling his story, he'll alert other dual citizens.
So at least they don't try and get on a plane without these documents and get turned off the plane. At least they understand what has to be done now.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News.
Still ahead, lost and found. How a championship ring belonging to wrestling royalty was stolen in Alberta and then recovered. But first,
I've been a fan since I've been a kid. Just grew up with it all the way through.
Gotta catch 'em all. Can you believe Pokemon is now 30 years old? We'll show you why what started as a Game Boy game remains incredibly popular and profitable.
Time now for tonight's Skywatch. Blue skies in North Burnaby as the CTV drone cruises towards the amazing Brentwood.
CTV Skywatch is brought to you by Kermac Collision and Autoglass, the name you'll remember when it matters. Kermac cares for kids.
Taking a look at today's markets, the Canadian dollar is up, still trading for 73 cents to the American dollar. Oil up $1.81, closing the day at $67.02 U.S. a barrel. Gold was up nearly $54 on the day. The TSX and the Dow Jones both finishing the day lower. The TSX down 161 points, the Dow dropping 521 points. The province announced a new mining and critical minerals test bed today to help BC companies test out new tech.
Test beds are a collaborative, whether it's physical or virtual locations, that host projects using commercially ready products in real-world settings to confirm benefits and help with commercialization.
The first project through the test bed will be a partnership between North Vancouver-based EMP Metals and Richmond's Saltworks Technologies. Their goal is to turn lithium brines from Saskatchewan into battery-grade chemicals. Other projects will focus on everything from low-emission vehicles to alternative energy solutions. After a high-profile bidding war came to an end yesterday, it is now official. Warner Brothers Discovery has agreed to be taken over by Paramount Skydance. Warner Brothers was first set to be acquired by Netflix in a deal that amounted to just under $28 U.S. per share and only covering the company's studio and streaming assets. But Paramount stepped in and said it would take over all of Warner properties, including CNN and HBO, for a higher bid of $31 a share, worth $110 billion in total. Netflix said it wouldn't bid any higher and dropped out. A video game turned global phenomenon, Pokemon, is celebrating its 30th anniversary. From cards and games to collectibles, this multi-billion-dollar craze is still going strong. CTV's Tyler Fleming visited a gaming shop for a Pikachu at what makes Pokemon so popular.
It started as a Nintendo video game and a story.
It's about Ash, who's going through his journey of getting badges and catching all the Pokemon.
The battling pocket monsters grew into worldwide success and a culture all on its own.
It's really evolved.
From cards and collectibles to movies.
Oh, I've been a fan since I've been a kid. Just grew up with it all the way through.
This is already like our restock.
30 years later, Pokemon still has a devoted fan base.
It's like a piece of your childhood. You're reliving the collecting experience with the person in front of you who has the cards every single time. So a couple cool items here.
And at Denerion Games and Cards, co-owner Danielle Levine is stocked with thousands of treasures.
I like to compare it to sports cards. It's the best way I find to get people who aren't in the hobby to understand what it's like.
Sean Newcomb has been collecting all his life. Today he's buying and opening this high-level box set.
There we go.
A water Pokemon. A quick check on its value.
He is worth $86.
Not bad. These cards can be worth a fortune.
We did have a first edition Charizard that we traded about a year ago. It's about $15K.
The Pikachu Illustrator, a rare 1998 Japanese Holy Grail card, sold this month at auction for a staggering and record $16.5 million.
And I want in on the action.
This is like a 25-cent card.
Come on, don't thunderbolt me on this.
I can't budge. I'm sorry about that.
While this card has no trading value, Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise ever. The Pokemon world consists of 1,025 characters.
This year marks the Pokemon series' 30th.
And on this day, its creator Satoshi Tajiri announced more to come.
That will be the beginning of the 10th generation of Pokemon. Live streams here in the shop.
Across the city, like many game and card shops, Denerion is hosting weekend events.
An open play and a trade night here at the shop with more giveaways.
Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
A WWE Hall of Fame ring for the legendary British Bulldog Davy Boy Smith has been recovered after being stolen in Alberta this week. Mounties say it was taken from a promotions trailer belonging to the Canadian Wrestling Elite outside a hotel in Lloydminster. The suspect stole clothing, belts, and jewelry, including the Hall of Fame ring, now owned by his son Harry.
It's probably the most valuable item that I do have. There's actually no value on it because it's priceless, you know what I'm saying? And for someone to steal it like that is just absolutely unbelievable.
Most of the stolen items were found in a nearby alleyway. The ring was later recovered after someone attempted to pawn it. Well, got any weekend plans? Well, whether you like to sit back and sip a cocktail or go for a rip on your bike, we've got you covered with our Friday Feel Goods. Plus, leaping off the page, Adam finds out how a box bouncing with book ideas became a published author. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Right now, here's Carrie with a preview of Your Morning Vancouver.
Should the age for colorectal cancer screening be lowered in Canada? Monday on Your Morning Vancouver, who is most at risk, the contributing factors, and prevention as we mark Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. Plus, a special performance in studio by a local award-winning Indigenous dance company ahead of the Coastal Dance Festival. We're back after the weekend. We'll see you Monday morning.
Ottawa Tourism is launching a worldwide contest for heated rivalry fans, a special show-inspired package to experience the capital.
I like Ottawa because it's my hometown. Perfect for you.
Shane Hollander, one of the two main characters of the massively popular Crave show, is from Ottawa. The Ottawa Tourism Prize includes a round-trip flight for two to the capital, a two-night stay at the Fairmont Chateau Laurier, and a one-night stay at Park Omega. The second season of the show is rumored to take place in Ottawa, though that has not been confirmed. It's hard to believe, but the home of the Vancouver Canadians is turning 75 years old this season, and the team says there will be events celebrating Nat Bailey Stadium all season long.
Every Tuesday, we're going to honor a different era of the ball team. So you'll come and get some giveaways. Like we got some beautiful pennants from the days when we were the Mounties and others when we were the AAA Canadians, and now that we're High A. So we're just celebrating the history every Tuesday night.
They're also adding a White Spot O stand to the stadium, a nod to the founder of the beloved restaurant chain, Nat Bailey. The season begins the first week of April. Already. I love that, though. Sitting there in the sunshine with a Monty mushroom burger in my hand, watching some baseball.
3-foot-long hot dog.
Or the bag of popcorn is also the size of your torso.
All right, we are in a festive mood, so it is time for the Friday Feel Goods, a weekly roundup of unique events happening in Metro Vancouver.
Yes, and here are 3 things worth checking out.
Vancouver Cocktail Week is back for its 5th year, featuring award-winning bartenders and spirits over 8 delicious days. Things kick off Sunday with a cocktail-paired brunch and the Gastown Cocktail Crawl. There will be more themed events all week, including a 1920s speakeasy party next Thursday night. Tickets for all events are available online. Maybe there's a patio because this weekend seems like it's got some
Definitely, you can take
patio
your drinks out, enjoy the cocktails in the sunshine.
Will they let me bring a Monty Mushroom Burger?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Well, if you're a fan of cycling, the Vancouver Convention Centre will host the BC Bike Show this weekend. People will be able to check out the latest in mountain or road cycling, or even test out an e-bike. There's a kids zone and shows from the High Velocity Stunt Team to make it a full family event. Tickets are available online, and kids under 12 get in free. Super cool. I have an e-bike, and I highly recommend.
You try tricks like that, right?
Exactly.
You're high flying.
And for the foodies, get ready for a month-long celebration of food in Burnaby. Bite of Burnaby begins on Sunday with a diverse range of cuisine and special events all across the city. From fine dining to hole-in-the-wall joints, this event is sure to offer something to satisfy your taste buds. And I went online and checked. Some pretty great spots, some pretty great deals.
Yeah.
Take all my money.
Well, if you have any events you would like us to highlight, email your tips to ctvfeelgoods@ctv.ca. And before we get to the Sawatsky sign-off, Lauren, what are you working on for 11:30?
Nafisa, a unique housing plan that was developed during COVID is shutting down. It was set up to help unhoused people. Tiny Town, a community where people lived in shipping containers, is no more on Vancouver Island, but those tiny homes aren't gone for good. How they're going to be helping here in the Lower Mainland in one community, giving some much-needed shelter. We'll have all the details ahead at 11:30.
Sounds good. Thank you, Lauren. Well, from childhood adventures to candy feasts, one Saanich boy's imagination has inspired a whole trilogy of books. Adam finds out the story behind his literary ambitions on the Sawatsky sign-off.
Milo Morris was in the midst of doing something, perhaps wrestling with stuffed animals, when he overheard his mom complaining about a book she was reading.
I thought that I would go write a better book for her.
So, Milo wrote his first book.
About Winnie the Pooh and Piglet.
And how did she respond?
She liked it.
And he loved it. So Milo wondered about expanding on an original idea he had called Kid Camp.
A camp for kids. They have candy feasts and go on adventures.
Milo had already drawn all his Kid Camp characters and constructed a card game based on the magical place for his family to play. But now?
I think I said, "Hey, Daddy, let's write a book about Kid Camp."
And I was like, that sounds great. Let's do it.
So Dave Morris and his son raced up to his office, and Milo laid down his plan.
I was wanting for Daddy to type it out and me to think of the idea.
And the best ideas, it turns out, are born from bouncing.
Got some gold from the cat.
Jumps up and down the couch and acts out a story.
And then he types it out on the computer.
Types out every single word, Dave says, unless they don't make sense.
You can tell it comes from the imagination of a kid. It's just like this wild ride.
The story was so expansive, it turned into a trilogy that Dave self-published after Milo asked if he could give the book to his friends and family as gifts.
Everyone liked it.
But then, after sharing the book at a student talent show, someone posted a positive review online, which led to a stranger requesting the book and posting more praise, which caught the attention of the manager at a national book chain who invited Milo to sell copies at their store.
It feels really good.
So good, Milo's now bouncing around ideas for his 4th Kid Camp book.
You think it, you write it down.
And the best part of all, you cuddle up with the people you love, and you share it. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Saanich.
The Sawatsky sign-off, brought to you by
CapitalDirect.ca. Let's make your vision a reality with Capital Direct. Call and talk to our team today.
So creative.
Yes.
So accomplished. He's written 3 books. He's not even 10 yet.
And he's working on a 4th.
Yeah.
Amazing. He's a prolific author already.
Well, all he has to do is keep on bouncing because that's where the ideas come from.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, right? Maybe we need to add a couple of couches here.
Little trampoline behind the desk.
Exactly. At our desk. That's what we need, little
His
bouncing
dad
trampolines.
can come and type out all of our stories for us, too. That'd be great.
Done and done. Adam, if you could hook it up, that'd be great. All right, let's take a look at our scenic snapshot for this fabulous Friday. A perfect day in Port Coquitlam, looking at the snow-capped golden ears under sunny skies. Thanks, Jean, for sending this beautiful photo in, and we want to see your scenic snapshot as well. So email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
Some great weather this weekend for you to get out there and take some pictures. Stick around and watch Lauren for CTV News at 11:30. But thank you so much for spending part of your evening with us.